Hi everyone, it's Jody. Welcome back to Stencil Saturday. I have to apologize. I took a holiday break and it really kind of lasted a super long time. I just had a lot going on this first half of the year so far. Um, so I am, as you can see, not picking up with our little whole cloth. We're going to do that. I filmed three new videos, and then we'll pick back up hopefully with that little whole cloth. I just can't put that on my machine for that long right at this moment. And I am going to make one other change. So instead of being every week, Stencil Saturday will now be every other Saturday. So there'll be 2 a month instead of 4. So I hope that's okay. I'm finding it very difficult to fit all of that into my schedule right now. So let's go ahead and get started. And you can see I have marked, well, maybe you can't tell. What I did was I used my Tumbler Stencil. And I marked it once. And then I turned it and marked it again. Now, you're going to notice, it does not evenly line up, but that's all right because what I want is kind of this crazy, angular, random grid. And so that's what we're left with right here is just kind of this crazy, wonky grid. So what we're going to do first is actually just stitch all of these lines. All of the lines that we see here, I'm going to stitch. So I'm going to work, left to right, and then wherever I end up, then I'll do these horizontal ones. And then we'll have a look at that and see how it looks and decide if we're going to add anything more to it. So I'm going to go ahead and start right up here at the top. I'm just going to, like I said, stitch. Well, actually, let me go up here. And I do need a ruler, so I'm going to just grab a plain old straight ruler, and we're going to stitch and just follow these lines. And the other bonus with something like this, obviously you want the lines to be straight, but if you're not exactly right on those lines, it really doesn't matter because it's totally random looking to begin with. And it won't matter once the lines are gone. So okay, so you get the idea. I'm going to stitch all of these vertical lines and then I'll come back and stitch all of the horizontal lines. So I'm going to go ahead and speed that up. Okay, so that is the end of the grid stitching. And this actually, let me break thread here so we can have a look at this as a whole. So, it's pretty cool, I think, as is. It's just totally, random, angular, really nice. So depending on the density that you're looking for in, let's say, a background fill, you could even do this. I would not do anything more to it. Maybe I have a border that just needs, kind of a cool grid. I would be okay with this and leave it as is if you didn't want it to be super ultra tight quilting. Um, but you do have the other option, and you know, again, it just depends on the density that you want. So the other thing that I generally will do with something like this is to perhaps go back and fill in, because we now have a grid. So we could fill like every other one with something. Um, Generally, I would choose pebbles just because I always feel like, as much as I hate stitching pebbles, pebbles have the perfect contrast, because circles with the lines, it just is a really good look. But we all know that that also takes forever to stitch. So for this particular one, I'm just going to go ahead and fill it in with some little loops. It'll go faster. But you understand that you could put any fill that you like to use in these. And so I always kind of do it this way. So I would, on an actual quilt, I would stitch all of this grid first and then come back through to add my fills in every other one. You can, of course, do it any way you like. If you like to stitch it and maybe, as you're stitching across here and you maybe close this one in and you want to fill it in, then you can do that as well. I just tend to get off track and then I miss a couple, and that's never fun when you realize that you forgot some and you thought you were done. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I am going to speed this up because it is, even though I'm doing loops, it's still going to take a bit of time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of work like this. So I'm going to go from here to here to here to here to here to here to kind of hit them as I work across each section. Okay, so that is the fill, and again, that could be any fill that you want to use. Let's just have a look at it finished. Get this out of the way. And I mean, I really like this. It's just so random, and I feel like, that's always a fun thing to do, because yet it is structured. So I hope you guys like that. And I will see you next time. Bye.